Let's also move on because we will manage to get more insights into the market overview of India's thriving gaming industry, in fact, in a form of a detailed panel discussion. But for now, let us get to delve into what would really drive this growth. For this, if I could please invite on stage Mr. Hitesh Jain, Managing Partner at Parinam Law Associates, and if I could also please invite on stage Mr. Shubhore, President, Internet and Mobile Association of India. If I could please invite both of you to come on stage. Firstly, for the launch of the report on regulatory roadmap for online real money gaming. So let's have the reports on the stage, please. That, let's go ahead and launch the report, ladies and gentlemen. Can we also have a round of applause? This report meticulously maps out models and assessments of regulatory interventions that can actually help out chart a course for responsible growth of the burgeoning industry. Thank you very much, Shubhota. I'm going to request you to take your seat. And meanwhile, let's also gather more insights on this report. So with that, I'd like to request Mr. Hitesh Jain to please share your words. Over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the gaming industry, it is our honor to present to you today a roadmap that could very well define the future of online real money gaming in India. In the intricate world of gaming and law, every challenge is a puzzle waiting to be solved. As Raghav mentioned earlier, online gaming and its growth, India is standing at a fascinating crossroad. Our study in the report reveals about an industry burgeoning at an impressive rate, now valued at over $3 billion in FY23, and it is growing. The sector has not only birthed gaming unicorns, but also opened vast employing opportunities. However, with this rapid growth, the gaming industry is also facing unique challenges that requires thoughtful regulation and a strategic foresight. Now, if you want to navigate the current legal framework of online gaming in India, it is a complex task. It is an intricate tapestry of central and state legislation with room for much ambiguity. Our courts have made significant strides in recognizing the legitimacy of skill-based online games, yet a cohesive, streamlined, regulatory approach is the need of an hour. In the last few years, you have navigated the battle of game of skill, game of chance, what is the legitimacy. And in that navigation, according to me, the introduction of the definition of the real money online game and the regulations in the intermediary guideline is the turning point. Now, as far as regulations is concerned, regulation is not a mere compliance requirement. It is an imperative for sustainable growth. Now, when you look at the online gaming industry with a almost 368 million strong player base, it is at risk without any regulation. When you look at the challenges, when you look at the legislative framework, and when you look at the regulation, we cannot lose the sight of what happened in the discussion that happened around Mahadev app in the last 6 months, the concerns facing around tax evasions, the concerns around money laundering, and the concerns around the addiction. According to me, when we look at any sort of regulation, when we look at the approach in the court, it is very important the perception around these three main issues of tax evasion, money laundering, and addiction is addressed and solved by the industry itself. In my view, the industry will have to come with its own solution independent of the regulatory framework that may be proposed by MeitY or the government of India. How the industry will respond on these three challenges and on its own when you will come with the solutions to address these issues, that will lend a huge credibility when you demand a better regulatory framework from the government authorities. In crafting the regulatory roadmap, when we look at the reports looked at basically global best practices from jurisdictions like when we quote the examples from United Kingdom, Germany, Singapore, and other countries. Now, there are some countries which are small countries where it is possible that you do not have the debate between the state and the central legislation. When you look at the case in the United States, you can look at the difference between the federal and the state law. I guess India has to look at the regulatory framework which is prevailing in Australia or United States when we have to develop the cohesive regulatory framework in India. Now, this country provides valuable lessons in balancing player protection with the industry growth, embracing responsible advertising, implementing stringent KYC protocols, and ensuring transparent customer grievance redressal. I think these three aspects of implementing stringent KYC protocols and ensuring transparent customer grievance redressal is also going to be the significant part when we are looking at the regulatory landscape of India. As far as the industry is concerned, the industry should always propose a roadmap to the as a stakeholder to MeitY and the government of India, which envisions a balance between self-regulation and government oversight, encapsulated in three key models. First, the two-tier model. This model fosters industry self-regulation, complemented by a platform-specific norms, ensuring rapid adaptability and responsiveness. Second, the three-tier model, adding a layer of government oversight at the apex. This model aims for uniformity and conflict resolution, especially in the face of diverse state legislation. The third model is the central government regulator model, a comprehensive approach where a central authority ensures industry-wide compliance and upholds ethical conduct. In my view, the second suggestion which I suggested in our report, that is the three-tier model, and a hybrid between a three-tier model and a central government regulator will address most of the regulatory concerns of the industry. Now, central to this model is also the establishment of code of ethics. It is very important that the industry develops its own code of ethics, which will go side by side with the regulatory framework, and it will ensure that every online gaming platform operates with integrity and responsibility, particularly towards protecting minor and promoting fair gaming practices. In the end, I would like to suggest, although the report will give you much more insight on the regulatory landscape, the different legislations and all, but as the industry leaders and key stakeholders, there is a need for a collective responsibility. There is a need for a collective responsibility to shape a regulatory environment that is both protective and progressive. I therefore urge the leaders in the industry and all the stakeholders who are present today to work together to position India's online gaming sector as a global exemplar of ethical, responsible, and dynamic growth. Thank you very much.